What's up, guys? Kind of making this video today. As you see, you can kind of see from the title, this is my story of becoming a successful entrepreneur now with doing $60,000 every single month and continuously growing. I kind of want to just tell you guys how I got into it, what the business looks like, how I operate my business. You know, hopefully drop a couple gold nuggets for you guys just so you're aware of what this kind of looks like. But before I even go in depth to it, this is my first YouTube video, so kind of nervous, but I mean the main thing here is like I don't necessarily want to post on social media. That might surprise some of you, but I generally don't really like it. I just know that it'll be worth it posting on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, inspiring other people to show what's possible, but also just building my brand, because I might be wholesaling in the next 5 years, I might not be, but whatever I'm doing, I mean, I plan on and will scale multiple companies, scale my wholesale business to where I'm not working in it, and then scale other businesses. But that personal brand that I'm building and pursuing and will not give up on, that allows me no matter what I'm doing. So that's why I want to put a big emphasis on why I'm starting to make these. But no, just to be honest with you guys, I don't obviously love making these videos. You know, I love meeting new people and interacting and hopefully inspiring and helping others, but I don't love the whole content thing. But I think any business owner or just anyone in general should do it and build their personal brand, because there's so much benefit in it. Inbound leads, I can get people to work for me through this, I can get people to collaborate, get in better rooms. So that's kind of why I've taken the initiative to post videos like this on Instagram, social media, whatever you call it. So yeah, I'll get into kind of my story. There's no need to go into my childhood or anything. I mean, if you guys want to know that, let me know. But I would kind of want to just start off on how I got into the business. So I would say since like sophomore year of high school, I knew I wanted to be in real estate. I didn't know what it was. I didn't take any action or plan on doing a specific thing. I didn't really necessarily want to be like a real estate agent, but I knew I wanted to like invest in properties or do something with real estate. I just knew that was like, real estate's where all the millionaires are at and billionaires. So I've always known I wanted to do that. But I had regular high school, played sports, didn't, worked in summer camps, did some carpet cleaning jobs. So it wasn't, just a regular standard high school job and kid. I went to the University of Iowa, and then my freshman year, I want to say a couple months into my freshman year, again, was kind of doing absolutely nothing, just studying for the first couple months. And then one of my best friends from literally kindergarten, Tyler Williams, I mean, you've probably seen a bunch of my content. He's been doing that for like 6 to 8 months before I got into my freshman year of college. Now we're the same age, but he just started like 6 to 8 months before me. And he's like, he had it obviously takes anyone a certain amount of time before you actually start making money through business. That's the whole point of why everyone quits, why it's so hard. But I mean, yeah, at that point when he was doing it 6 to 8 months, I mean, he built out a company, he was making money with his partner Josh. And I was seeing this, he was posting some of it. And I was like, dude, I want to get into it. Was talking with him about it. Wasn't like fully committed, but I was just like, I want to know more. I mean, it's also like, I'll call the dude on any day, but because it's been like my best friend since like kindergarten. But due to that, I was kind of asking him a bunch of questions. Was very interested because he was 18, 19, making all this money. I was like, dude, how is that possible? I had never heard or seen anything like that. That does not. I can't even imagine it. Like my brain was so like, get a degree, go build your way up. Get a job after your college, $60,000 a year. Next year, maybe be 80 to 100. After that, 120. Just keep slowly building your way up. By the time you're 30 to 40, you could be making $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 every year. So I had no friends, no family members that were entrepreneurs that I learned about. So this was just super new to me. So I was super curious of how he was doing this. And we talked about it for weeks, months. I don't think it was months, but we talked about it, and I was just getting more and more intrigued. And then I saw this dude like buy a Tesla, and I was like, all right, now fuck this. I'm getting it. What are you doing? I'm working for you. Let me in. It's like literally like if you guys ever seen The Wolf of Wall Street, where that guy's like, he's like, you made $70,000 a month. Shut up. I'll quit my job and come work for you. Literally, that's what I picture that at. Like I'm like, you just bought a Tesla at 19. all right, I quit college. I'm going, nah, I didn't quit college, but I was like, dude, I'm working for you whether you like it or not. So basically, I think I got into it, like fully started like working for his company. The first couple months was just like, hey, what is wholesale real estate? What is our objective? What is our goal? What value do we provide? What is this? I've never heard of it. So that was the first couple months. Just I was going through a YouTube rabbit hole, just learning as much as I could. Now, when I think I first started working for their company, Silverstone Capital, as an acquisition rep, that was about like March of 2025 or like early 2025. I don't know the exact month or date, but it was in 2025 early. An acquisition rep was just a sales rep. So I literally just lock up contracts for the company. They gave me leads. I turned those leads into contracts. They sold those contracts. We made money. I would get a commission. Straight commission, standard sales guy. Every wholesale company, every company in the world has a sales guy. I was their sales guy. Now the good thing about it though was I was like their first hire. They didn't have any people. Now I think they have a bunch, but with a year or two ago when they first started, I was their first rep. So it was bad in the sense that I kind of had to build it up with them, and that's not even bad, but it was just, to give you both perspectives, they didn't have a built out system and process because I was their first one. It's not like they've done this before. There was not a lot of experience. However, they knew what they were doing. They just didn't know how to fully have the systems in place to train other people. But because of that, I got to see everything. I mean, that's obviously my best friend. Very good friends with Josh now. They live like a couple blocks over as well. But I was an acquisition rep, but I was seeing this side on dispo. I was seeing this side on acquisition. I was seeing how they thought as entrepreneurs training people to hire their company. So it was more, if I joined the company now, it'd be like, hey, this is your job. Don't think about anything else. Don't do anything else. I'm not going to teach you anything else. Just get really good at this one task. But for me, it was like I was learning the whole business. I didn't make a lot of money. I want to say the whole first, because I was grinding in college, from literally I think it was 6 to 8 months in 2025 where I was an AC rep. And I was just dialing the phones. Literally, I would go to, don't get me wrong, I had my fun in college, but I was just dialing, going to class, get back, dial, answer calls, answer texts, answer emails, do this, and walk outside in class, take a call, go to the bathroom, come back in, text them, email them. This was like my life. I was fully committed because I wanted that life. I mean, I'm living in this apartment now, but I would not be here without that just pure desire, that burning desire to get better and reach my goals. I mean, I still do this, but I wrote down my goals every morning. So that first 6 to 8 months, I was just locking up as many contracts as possible. I was not very good for the first couple months or for a while. So all of 2025, I didn't make a single cent. I think I worked for them for 4 or 5 months. It was kind of on and off. I made a couple $1,000s here and there, but I learned so much. I'm so grateful for that opportunity that I did that. I wouldn't be here today if not, but the money, the monetary aspect, I didn't make barely anything. They didn't have the systems set up to where I could or set proper expectations, as well as usually acquisition reps, sales reps, you start making, $10, $15, $20,000 a month, the really good acquisition reps, 1, 2, 3 years down the line. So I only worked for them for a short amount of time, so it's very hard for me to make a lot of money. But I was also new. I have no sales experience. I don't even know what wholesaling is. So first 6 months, I think I made $3,000 or $4,000. And then I had this other person that was also an acquisition rep. So it was me and him. His name was Cody. 6 months in, I was like, hey, I'm starting my own thing. That was my whole goal. Because I told Tyler and Josh when I first started, I was like, hey, I will try to make you guys as much money as possible, teach me as much as possible. I will try to, lock up as many contracts as possible. I don't know when, whether it's going to be in 3 months, 6 months, a year, 5 years, but I will eventually branch off and start my own business. I let them know from the beginning. I set the proper expectations, and I felt that. And I told them, hey, this is, I have one more month. I think middle of summer of 2025, I was I started my own thing. Now starting my own thing, that was even harder because I had no money to invest in the business. So I was driving for dollars, literally driving in shitty neighborhoods, looking at properties that need to be fixed, writing down the addresses on a pen and paper, going back home with 100 addresses, skip tracing them with Cody, my partner at the time, and then we would just start cold calling them. And this was free of cost. Like we were not spending any money, so it was a lot more difficult to do anything. And we had no clue what the hell we were doing. I mean, if I look back on it, there's probably some things that we were just doing so poorly. So I think I was working with him and just figuring everything out for like 4 to 5 months. So by the end of like 2026, I think it was like in October, November, me and Cody split up in terms of just partnership, business partners. I started my own business where I was like, hey, I went from acquisition rep where I was getting 10% commission, locking up contracts, and I had a partnership where I was going 50-50. I was like, hey, you don't close a lot of wholesale deals, but they're really big spreads. I think I can do the whole, there's 3 parts to wholesale. Lead generation, how you get the leads, acquisitions, locking up the contracts, and then disposition, selling the contract for a profit to close. We get paid out through the title companies. That's how we make money. That's how we operate our business. I was like, hey, fuck this 50-50, fuck this 10%. I want all of it. Now that might sound bad, but best decision I ever made. So now, before I closed a $10,000 deal, I was making $1,000. Then I closed a deal with Cody, $10,000. That was $5,000 net to me. Now I close a $10,000 deal, $50,000 deal. That's going all to me. Now obviously there's a lot of cost, marketing, a lot of costs. Don't get me wrong, and I can go into more depth on that in another YouTube video. But yeah, that's not like all net profit. But again, the main picture is I was getting 100%. Like I was the full owner, and I wanted that. I always wanted that. Hold on, let me drink this coffee real quick. But yeah, that was what I wanted to do. So, I mean, I don't get me wrong. I think I checked this like a couple months ago. Like, I think I started in 2025. By the end of 2025, I literally think I made like $5,000. And the pain of that was just so unbearable. I thought about quitting so many times because you're going to college, you're going to all these classes. I mean, that's a lot of work, studying for tests, doing homework. You're in dorms and housing with people that like are not doing this, so like you're just on the phone all the time. It's just like, it's tough. I was in a dorm with 3 different people, bunk beds, and one on the other side. Like there was no room to call. I was going like these study rooms and just start dialing. So it was very tough with college, with everything. I wasn't making any money. Like imagine working a job as much as you possibly can, working as hard as you can, trying to get trying to get as good as you can for a full year and making $0. Like that shit is like, I mean, that really puts a knife in your gut. Like you're just like, damn, like you feel like it's wasted. And that is the most difficult part of entrepreneurship, is the uncertainty. You could work your ass off, you could do this, you could do that, no matter what you do, and you have no clue what you're gonna make. You have no clue what holds your business gonna fail. You could be making, whatever it might be. But when you have a regular job, hey, I'm making this much every single month as long as I don't get fired. Entrepreneurship, you can work 12-hour days and make $0 for 6 months, a year, 5 years. So it's just the uncertainty. It's a grind. It is a straight grind. Anyone that's going to get into entrepreneurship, wholesaling, or just any other business, it is a fucking grind for the first year, 2, 3 years. Because you're just doing everything you can, you're seeing no results. So it was very tough. No, don't get me wrong, I was still going out, hanging out with friends, like I had a good college time, but I was very intentional with my time. Go to class, wake up early, get back, diet. Go to class, answer in class, get back, diet. Like this was like clockwork. Like I lived for this shit. And then past that, I think beginning of 2026, so this year, this was when I had my own company. So all of 2025, when I was working for a different company as a rep, and then I also had my own like business partner. We're going 50-50. Made like $5 or $6 grand all of 2025. I think the last 2 months, so like October, November, December, I was working for myself 100%. And my first ever wholesale deal, like where I actually like was the owner, because I closed acquisition deals where I got 10%. My first actual like for my own company that I have today. First deal closed January 2nd, 2026, and it was like, oh my God, this deal was so tough to close on the dispo side, like selling it. There were so many title issues and all these other things, and I think I made $625 on it, which goes like it's not a lot for the amount of work you're doing in wholesale. that's why, if you're in wholesaling or know anything about it, you have to like be very intentional with the deals you lock up, because whether it's $100,000 spread or $100 spread, the workload is the same. So that's why it's like, hey, if this deal is not profitable, if I know I'm not making 5, 10, 15 grand plus, I'm not taking it. I'll follow, but then wait till I can get them at a lower price, because there's so much work involved. Problem solving, the wholesalers are professional problem solvers. There's so many issues that you have to do. You're just like the glue that keeps these deals together. The seller has no clue most of the time how to close a deal, what they're doing. They're just like, hey, I'm selling my house, this is what I want. I have to keep them on board. We have to keep the title people on board, make sure they're doing their job. We have to keep the agents on board, make sure they're doing their job. The buyers, like, you're just managing everyone and making sure everything goes smoothly. So then obviously you get your fee at the end from closing. So that's basically how that works. But I closed my first deal January 2nd of 2026. I was still in college at that point. That was my sophomore year. And from that point of 2026, I've just been scaling up ever since. I knew pretty early on that I wanted to do this. I wanted to do entrepreneurship. I didn't want to even go to college anymore. And I kind of wanted to just pursue my dreams. I was all in on this shit. I knew what was possible. I knew it was capable. Through this time, it wasn't just dialing. I was working a lot on my mental fortitude, on how I could be better, how I could gain more knowledge, how could I have more wisdom and insight, and how can I be a better leader? How can I do all these things? How can I work harder? How can I make more? And just actually move the needle forward in my business. Because it's a lot of mental work. If I don't do any mental work, if you're not writing down your goals, if you don't have a reason why you're waking up every morning, this shit will kick you in the teeth and you'll, be back where you started in an instant. So that was honestly the most difficult part, was the mental. I had no clue what was gonna happen. It's just kind of like, I think Alex Hormozi put it this way. It's like you're running and you have a blindfold on and someone just like run, and there's no finish line. You don't know how long you're running, you don't know what the distance is, and you just gotta run. And you don't know when to stop, no one's telling you, and you just gotta run until someone says like stop, meaning like when you make some money, but you have no clue when that is. So you're just running blindly, and you get that cramp, you're like, oh, should I stop? Regular people with regular jobs, oh, I'm making this much this month, oh, I gotta run a mile, okay, I'll stop here. You just gotta keep grinding and run through that pain without knowing when to stop. It could be a foot more, it could be a mile or 1,000 miles more, you just don't know. That's the pain of it, because you don't know. But yeah, closed my first deal, put all that money back, the whole $600 back into the business, and then my skill set was really what pushed the needle forward, and that's why I'm closing more consistently now and building up my business. Is if I look at myself a year ago till now, I'm a completely different person. Not only my operation, my wholesale company, and that I've hired people now, so I have a whole team, but just like my daily mental thoughts, what I do, how I think, it's just a completely different person. So that's why I'm here today. But as soon as I closed that deal, I was like, fuck this, let's go even more all in. Started closing more deals month by month, February, March, May, June. So I was all during college. I think I finished college like May, but throughout the last couple months of college, I was just dialing and making money. I'd never made money now, and all that money was going back into the business, but I was getting busier and I was making money, so I literally stopped going to classes. I was like, I was failing classes, I wasn't doing my homework, I wasn't going to classes, I was just working all day because I just had a passion. I had a hunger to do this. I was making so much, I don't want to say so much money, but I was just making money I never thought was possible. So come end of college, I kind of was hinting at my parents like for a year that I wanted to drop out, and they were not having it at all, telling me, oh, you can't drop out, oh, you're gonna be all of my parents are just looking out for me, like, oh, you're gonna be a bum if you drop out of college, this, that, like, stay in college, like, you're gonna, not like you're gonna fail, but like, what if you fail, you don't have a degree, all this, which, fair point, if I was a parent, I might say the same thing, but very traditional, old time mindset where, again, there's nothing bad with that, but I just knew what I wanted to do. So I didn't tell them I was dropping out at all. And then I think I finished college, I took them out to a nice dinner. I didn't tell them how much I had in my bank account at all. I finally did that, and they were like, what the hell? You you have that much money in your bank account. And then that kind of flipped the switch. They still weren't happy about it, but they understood. Come June 24th, moved in here with my roommate Zeke. We're not business partners. We both have our own wholesale operations, but we do a lot of business together, but it's not like we're 50-50 partners. And yeah, we got a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom in River North, Chicago, downtown on the 28th floor. My rent is insanely high. I'm not happy about it, but you know, it's worth it. And I'm making more money than I ever had in my entire life. We're doing about $60,000 a month on average, only going up. I think it was like $10,000, $20,000 a month beginning of the year, 30, 40, 50, 60. So I had a 6-figure month in there at one point. So I think year to date because my first deal literally closed in 2026, until now, I think it's like 6.5 months in, 7 months in, we've done about, I think I've done about $392,000 in gross revenue. Now my net margins are 80 to 90% of that goes to ownership. You guys can kind of do the math on that. But that just shows to show you it's very, like when you got a business and you build your skill set, you might make nothing for the first year. And once you make money and you just scale up, like you can just scale up so fast. Like my first deal, the first ever deal I closed ever was the beginning of this year, 6 months ago. And now we've done $400,000 in revenue. Net is not that far away from that 400,000, so it's fucking crazy, and it's changed my mind about a lot of things, and all I'm doing is continue to grind. Now the goal, obviously, to scale up the money monetary wise and make more money, but the real goal and why I'm in entrepreneurship and why I'm in real estate and why I'm going to scale more businesses and I believe in myself and why I'm going to continue to do this is I like the fact that I can delegate. Now I've already delegated. I have 3-4 members on my team. I have a whole team to make my life easier, that they're working for me, I'm paying them, and now I can take off hours out of my day. I don't have to do this task. I don't have to do this task. Hard part about it is you might be really good at do a task, but you might not know how to train someone to be very good at a specific task. So that was a very hard part for me, learning how to do that and scaling it up. But now that I've done that, I got my first taste, like, damn, I pay this person this amount of money every month. I just bought back 4 hours out of my day. So it's crazy. And I want to get to the point where I have a whole, wholesale business, other businesses where I'm doing millions of dollars every single month, and I'm not even working in the business. Like I'm just making that while I'm sleeping, while I'm doing about my day. The goal is to scale my wholesale company up, delegate that to where I have like 1 meeting a week with management and just make sure I lead the business, but I'm not working in it. And then scale up another business, build that up, scale another business, build that up. And now I have 3, 4, 5, 10 fully delegated companies that are all making a shit ton of money and I'm not even working in it. Now, that excites me. That's the goal, and why I'm gonna keep working my ass off to get to that point. I'm 20 years old and I'm living here, which is pretty crazy. I don't say that to be like cocky, I'm very humble. But I'm just trying to potentially inspire some people to show it's possible, because I didn't think this would be possible a year ago or 2 years ago or hell, even 6 months ago. But it's the sheer fact of if you believe yourself, if you do not quit, you cannot fail. So I want to be diversified, where let's say AI takes out one of my businesses. Do a lot of research, that doesn't happen, but let's just say AI takes out one of your businesses. If you have 5, you lose 1 source of income, you got 4 other ones. So that's the goal. Build up and delegate companies and keep repeating and repeating and repeating. Because I love entrepreneurship. I love this. I love building teams and connecting with people and doing cool shit. So yeah, that is my story of how I got into it. I don't know how long this was. Again, let me know if there's anything to improve. Let me know if this was ass. Let me know if you hated it. Let me know if you loved it. Comment below. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys, anything. Give me any pointers. I'll keep making these videos. You might think it's stupid now, but in a couple years from now, when I can post, different things and hire new people because of my platform on social media, because it will be a big platform. I know it. I'm going to attract it into my life. It's going to be worth it, and that's why I'm doing it right now. This video might get 2 views. Nobody might see it, but if I keep making these on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, it'll eventually pay off in the future. So, appreciate you guys. Love you guys, to my 2 subscribers, and yeah.